So you found the end of it and knew that it was under there, even though it was kind of like invisible.
Yep, that's what the forest spore is made of. Countless fallen things.
So there's a buried stick right there, and you knew because you saw the end over here.
Yep.
Nice little moldiness.
And you don't really have to use. I took the axe and pieced it.
Yeah, you don't. I was wondering why you took an axe, because you're not going to need it for all this stuff. It's total mush.
Over there is where some really good stuff is, because it's very shady, you see?
Yeah.
And a lot of the microorganisms that we want are sort of like the cool, shady areas.
Have you harvested it here before?
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of stuff out of here. It will replace itself.
Well, of course. There's fallen logs all throughout.
It'll just take a couple seasons to
Look at all the logs. It's kind of weird, like how much is here.
What?
The fallen log stuff. You don't even
Yeah.
see it.
Well, it becomes flat eventually, so you just don't even know.
But that is an actual log right along there.
Yep, that was a log. This is great for the making that soil probably, except it has a bunch of roots in it. So I'm gonna avoid that one.
Okay. So there's logs that are on the top. They're dry logs. Logs that are buried and started to decompose, and they're more squishy.
What's more interesting is you can see where something inert fell and existed and how it's been buried, and then you really realize how much it's actually been buried, like the floor has just been recycling, and then you find like a Buzz Lightyear arm just like like that.
Buzz Lightyear, what?
Yeah, I found a bunch of toys back here and stuff like that.
They don't decompose, right?
No.
Buzz Lightyear.
It's kind of interesting. It's like a time capsule, because the stuff back here.
And this one's good for crumbling.
Yeah.
It just crumbles as you touch it.
Can probably just crumble up a bunch. That I don't, put directly in. Sorry, I'm real tired.
I guess so. You've been doing this for days. See, you just touch it and there it is, and I didn't even see it was there. That's cool.
See that?
Yeah.
We like that.
I
That's
like
good
all the
stuff.
fungusty stuff and the little.
Yeah. Well, that's all wrapping around everything.
That's the stuff that makes the networks.
Well, the real mycorrhizae is so tiny, so you can't actually see it. But if you see that,
It's under the whole
it's
forest.
indicative that there are other things. That's actual fungus.
This is where you've taken some of the dirt off the topsoil over here, right?
Yeah. And lots of
Yes.
decomposed logs.
I see
and
this
things.
is a nice cache. And now the logs are down on the ground because Buzz Lightyear?
That's a healthy part of the forest.
It just some
They
things
just
live
happen.
and some things die, and that's
Yep.
the way life is.
It's just the way that nature does things.
So maybe a windstorm knocks some of the weaker ones down or something.
Yep. Diseased trees will fall. There's also like these particular trees, these ones, not these are called loblollies.
Loblolly
And
pine.
they have a sort of way that they make a canopy. They sort of like pop up in little sporadic places, and then once everybody's all in the shade, they all grow up at the same time. And it's really interesting because you can see clear delineation, especially standing from a distance here, that there is the original pines that started, and then the babies and the deciduous trees down here about our height. You see that?
And that Chinese
Privet
privet that you
Privet.
don't light is everywhere.
is everything.
It's all under here.
All everywhere.
All these little bushy kind of trees are Chinese birds.
Yeah, they're not all. These are red maples. These are actually native, and they're fine, but they're also like incredibly, like annoying.
This is a hardwood.
Yep.
Maple is.
Yep.
But it's also not as big. It's getting
No, but
there.
it's getting there, and it needs these plants need those deciduous trees like that. That's an oak, red oak. No, white oak. Yeah. Those trees need the shade to get going. It'd be okay to start as a little baby tree, but as soon as it's opened up, you see there's like trees that have fallen around here, and they've opened up some sun, and now the understory things are taken out the area, and all of the vines and the bushes that got the shelter from the shade will get the sun to get bigger like that, and they'll push up to the top eventually. And
What is this?
what?
Oh, I know this one. It's got thorns on it.
This is.
I know the name of that. What is it? Oh shoot! I recognize the pattern and the thorns. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's all over the arboretum. It's definitely native.
It's not Devil's Walking Stick. That's what you're talking about.
No, I don't know if it is, but this is. I can't remember the name.
I
Is
can't
it
either.
Devil's Walking Stick?
No, it's not. I actually.
See that it's got
Wait,
thorns on
maybe
it?
you're right.
Maybe it is.
Well, it has compound leaves, but like a Devil's Walking Stick, and it has the thorns. But Devil's Walking Stick is like bunched with thorns all the way up, and it's way too
Maybe-
tall.
Oh no, I've seen some really big ones.
Really?
In the arboretum, yeah.
Oh, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about then. 'Cause- well, I didn't
Once in
think.
a blue moon, that can happen, huh?
Yeah, frequently actually. But I thought that it was.
I remember seeing it and learning about it in the arboretum, and it has such a cool looking bark. Look at the pattern on that bark.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's got thorns.
Oh no, you're right. Look, see, it has the little ring around. I don't
Yeah.
know why this one doesn't have as many.
It does have rings.
But
rings
it has
of thorns.
It has the rings of thorns. That's Devil's
That's
Walking
Devil's
Stick.
Walking Stick. So that's right. I knew it. I just couldn't remember the name. I've seen it before in the arboretum. It's getting tall.
Yeah. Well, this might stay as an understory plant, but these are like the things that will eventually become the new like 1,000-year-old forest one day, if it ever happened
If
that we
we-
would allow that. But anyway, but yeah, so like you can see how
Which
It's
one's the
all
poison
just
ivy?
going-
All this,
that's Virginia creeper,
which
but
is
it's
not poison.
mixed in with a very
This,
inconspicuous, subtle difference.
which is poison ivy. 3 leaves.
That one, yes. See, they're very difficult. Look, this is
Oh,
how.
what about this over here?
That's Virginia creeper. That's poison ivy. That's poison ivy. But you see how difficult the difference is, because if you look at this plant, I'm trying to find an example of one, but they don't
So
always have.
this is the 3-leaf poison ivy.
The 3 leaves is
That's-
usually poison ivy, but if you notice, the Virginia creeper has these little like sawtooths on the
Yeah.
leaves. Sometimes Virginia creeper has 3 leaves. It just happens.
So the ones
yeah.
without the sawtooth probably is
Sometimes-
poison ivy.
Yeah, normally they're
Look at
5,
one,
but
two.
they'll grow like an immature plant or like just an underdeveloped leaf or something, and it'll have 3 instead of 5, and then you think, oh, poison ivy, but like
But then there's a bunch of poison ivy
there's
right
poison
there.
ivy everywhere, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Like right on my footsies. Please don't get on my toes.
Oh no, I thought you. Oh,
Well, they're closed. I think I'm okay.
I
do have
didn't
long
think
pants.
to ask if you were wearing socks.
Not wearing socks. Don't get on my toes. If I have itchy toes, I'll know why. So, is this enough loot for my little buckets?
I think it should be enough for the wood, but I'm a little concerned that you didn't get enough soil. So we might need to get a little bit from the ground. So we'll have to make a second trip.
Okay.
But let's just take
Let's
this
go
back.
see for our buckets.